Good evening, brothers and sisters. I've been asked to say something about the recent Roe versus Wade decision. It is not meant to be the last word on the subject, but it is meant to get us to begin to think of the road we're heading down. Our beloved founder, Jaramogi Ajman, stated clearly and consistently that the Pan-African Orthodox Christian Church has no official position on the issue of abortion. He said that the dogmatic acceptance or rejection of abortion was thoughtless and insensitive to the variety of complex circumstances that might confront a woman, a couple, or a family. He said a one-size-fits-all solution was no solution at all. So he held that abortion should be regarded as a necessary tool for people who decided that pregnancy was not in their best interest at this time. Theologically, we believe that life begins at the mystical moment when the sperm fertilizes the egg and the process of fetal development begins. However, we do not believe that the rights of the unborn supersede the rights and concerns of the living who may have legitimate reasons why they should not bring a pregnancy to term at this time. With that being said, we definitely do not believe that the government has the right to determine what a woman can or cannot do with her own body, let alone declare her decision to be illegal where she faces imprisonment for it. The overturning of Roe versus Wade is the beginning of an attack on other constitutionally guaranteed rights that interfere with white nationalists' ability to preserve white supremacy. Much has been said in recent years about the demographic shift that is called the browning of America. It's projected that in the not too distant future, people of color will outnumber white Americans and they will become a minority. This awareness has grown over time as it has created an existential crisis for many white people. They're filled with fear, anxiety, and insecurity unlike they have ever known. They fear that people of color are anxiously awaiting the moment when we can treat them the way that they have treated us. Fully 70% of Republicans believe in the Great Replacement theory, which holds that there is a deliberate and coordinated effort to replace white males in all aspects of American life. 70% is no insignificant lunatic fringe group. This is a widely accepted, commonly held belief by a majority of the white population. And this is what is motivating crazy young white men to carry out mass shootings of people of color and their perceived sympathizers, no matter what they say on the mainstream news. The white nationalist political agenda is to make sure that they can continue to control America, even if they are a numerical minority. When the demographic shift was first noticed decades ago, white nationalist think tanks and research institutions were charged with finding a way to maintain white supremacy as a minority. They turned to apartheid South Africa as a model of a minority-controlled state. They learned that apartheid was defined by the law and enforced by law enforcement and the military. So they determined that gaining control of the Supreme Court of the United States was the highest priority because the Supreme Court had the authority to unilaterally strike down any law or policy that was not in the interest of white supremacy and to uphold any law or policy that was in the interest of white supremacy. Driven by irrational fear and desperation, they have clumsily packed the court with ideologues, young, super conservative justices who are dedicated to preserving white supremacy at all costs. It was only after securing total control of the court that a Black woman was symbolically added for better optics, but the appointment was moot. This attack on reproductive rights is also an attack on privacy rights. This calls into question the constitutionality of everything from contraception to same-sex marriage, to same-sex relationships, to what you can do in the privacy of your own home with your own wife. If you have no right to privacy, then law enforcement can stop and frisk us at any time. Our homes can be invaded without warrants. Our cell phones and computers can be monitored. Our personal movement can be traced by data tracking technology. If they can ban books and teachings that are not in the interest of white nationalists today, they will ban movies and speech that is not in the interest of white nationalism tomorrow. They are laying the legal foundation for a fascist white minority controlled country that sets Black people back 100 years in a new form of Jim Crow 2.0. We have to fight this white nationalist movement with everything we have before it's too late. People of color, plus the white Americans who do not want this kind of country, constitute a significant majority of the population. We have to use that majority while it still matters. We must fight with allies who are as afraid of this kind of dystopian future as we are. We must use our votes, our voices, and our protests while we still can. This white nationalist movement can be stopped, and if not stopped, slowed down until we are better able to fight it intelligently. The overturning of Roe versus Wade is about more than replenishing the ranks of the white population with little white babies. It is the legal pathway to overturning everything that Black people have accomplished in this country in the last 75 years. We have to fight now before it's too late.